Welcome to SHOT Show New Product Premiere, your insider glimpse into the future of outdoor gear. Coming to you from the convention floor of the massive trade show in Las Vegas, Nevada, you'll get first-hand insight into the forefront of groundbreaking technology. Join our expert team of industry professionals as they go behind the scenes to get you up close and personal with some of the upcoming state-of-the-art products. From firearms and knives to apparel and accessories, you'll see this year's best gear to take whatever you do outdoors up a notch.
I'm Joe Kurtenbach with Guns and Ammo, and I'm joined by Corey BEAUDREAU of Smith & Wesson. And Corey, we have got some really exciting new products from Smith & Wesson, which is great. I mean, it's kind of like we're all kind of coming out of our shell, and Smith & Wesson is right there with maybe one of the most exciting introductions of the 2022 SHOT Show, the CSX.
So this is our dark horse. We kind of took a holistic approach to concealed carry. Micro 9, metal frame, polymer palm swells. So we have a 10+1 flush mount and a 13+1 extended.
Wow, so plenty of capacity.
Plenty of capacity.
Yeah.
It's hammer fired, which kind of surprised some folks, but when shooting, the recoil is so much lighter.
Well, and it's single action.
Single action only.
Yep. And
ambidextrous.
Yeah.
So it's even for left-handed shooters, it comes with an extra mag release, so you can swap to left-handed only. The slide release is ambi, the safety is ambi, and that trigger is like, it's a really good concealed carry. It's about 5 pounds. So it's not a 1911 trigger where you're thinking it's gone.
But it's
again,
also not a striker fired or a double action only type trigger. And for the viewers at home, I really want to mention, it's got an aluminum frame, so that heft is there. It's a little bit heavier than you might expect. But there's also some really nice upgrades here. We have cocking serrations fore and aft. We have good metal sights, and in fact, the rear sight, it's a 3-dot arrangement, but the rear sight is serrated. And then we've got these nice serrations running along the top of the slide to help guide your eye and reduce the glare. So there are some really nice upgrades in this little package, and I do want to mention these polymer grip inserts. This is going to be familiar for guys that are familiar with the M&P line. And does it come with additional grip swells to change out?
It comes with one additional grip swell. This is like the standard size, and then there's like a super deep carry, like so
smaller.
It's even smaller.
Yeah,
exactly.
and thinner. Yep. And in the hand, it's actually enough.
If you look at your bore axis too, right? So what makes it a really sweet shooting gun is you are like right there on the
where
bore
you
axis.
point.
It is so just light recoiling. The feel is just a really sweet shooting gun.
Yeah, so this one is really interesting. I am very interested in this one. Single action, carry it cocked and locked, and small enough for pocket carry even.
Yep.
So, but this isn't the only thing in the handgun line that we're going to look at today. So what else do you have for us?
Our engineering team was actually really excited. We were approached by Federal, and we teamed up with them for their new cartridge, the 30 Super Carry. So if we look at, again, going back to the Micro 9s, right? 9mm Luger, been around over 100 years. Yes, we've done a lot with it in the last 10 years. It's become very popular, but still, Federal looked at it and said, is there anything else we can do, right? So Micro 9s, yes, we've changed a lot with the guns, but what else can we do to make carrying more optimal? So they came up with 30 Super Carry. So it conceals like 380.
Right.
Punches like it hits like a 9.
It's very close to 9 ballistically.
But it feels like a 380 when I shoot it.
And instead of like a 35 caliber, it's actually a 32 caliber bullet.
Right.
So, and what that means in a gun like this is even more capacity. It is a thinner case. It is a smaller bullet. But again, you are getting those near 9 ballistics.
Exactly. So in a Shield Plus, now you're packing 15 rounds.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean,
amazing.
That's a subcompact.
Top of the line for the micro carries,
And then in our EZ series, it's 10 rounds with a single stack.
And still a single, and the EZ is still a single stack, but you can see you get more vertically with that smaller case.
And when I run this, like the 30 Super Carry EZ, it feels like I'm shooting a 380. The recoil is just so light, and now you're at 10 rounds, which is fantastic.
It's a very interesting cartridge. I'm excited to see what comes of it, and it's good news that companies like Smith & Wesson are supporting it. I think that bodes well for the 30 Super Carry. And besides the Shield Plus and the Shield EZ, are there plans for more M&Ps?
Everything's on the table, right? So,
but this is where we're starting. We got a couple options.
We started with these two, but yes, I personally am a fan of the round. I enjoyed shooting it, but I would love to see it branch into other families as well.
So plenty of exciting handguns coming from Smith & Wesson, but let's take a step over and talk about rifles.
So we have our classic sport series, but We again took a look at the family of guns, and we realized we were kind of missing a segment for the consumers in the mid-tier section.
Yeah.
So mid-price range, feature-wise, you're holding the higher end. So this is our new Volunteer XV series. So that's the Pro series. The Pro series comes with B5 furniture, an M-LOK,
I like the
14-inch, I
slick
believe it is.
handguard, but still the full-length rail.
And then the best part is that PWS muzzle brake at the end. Like, it just sits perfectly. I mean, it is a really fantastic package.
Well, that's one of the benefits of the AR platform, is that it's so accessible for new shooters and experienced shooters alike. You can kind of jump right in and not be overgunned. And so the AR is great. And now you guys are offering it with even more features. You're kind of giving more options. So let's quickly walk through the line here, starting with the basically the basic model here.
This is the basic Volunteer XV series. So B5 furniture, Bravo company handrail, which is actually really nice. The texture on this is really nice when you're shooting. Magpul flip-up sights. Then the OR is the next level up. So instead of the A2 flash or A2 gas block, we got a Picatinny mount gas block.
So if you want to run it slick, or if you want to put flip-up iron sights, this is the way to go.
So again, you're not getting like the A2 blocking your your optics.
But still the forend with the Delta ring. You've got the flat trigger. Is that common to all of them? It is.
Yes, really nice tactile reset. Single stage trigger. It's a very, very nice shooting gun.
Corey, I really appreciate the time. A lot of exciting stuff. Rifles, pistols, Smith & Wesson has got it going on for 2022.
Hi there, David Fabian with Guns and Ammo. I'm here talking to Jeff Hoffman, president of Black Hills Ammunition in Rapid City, South Dakota. Jeff, how are you?
Hey, David. I'm doing real well, thank you.
We're here to find out what kind of new products Black Hills has for the market in 2022. Anything cool?
We do. We've got a number of cool things. Everybody's familiar by now with the Honey Badger line. There's been a lot of demand for us to bring out a Honey Badger load in 10 millimeter with the resurgence and popularity of the 10 millimeter. So we did that this year, and it's going to be good. It's going to be one of those things that all these folks that carry lightweight 44 Magnums in a chest rig when they're fly fishing in Alaska. This is going to fit that niche really well, because ballistically, they've got the performance, as we've demonstrated on ballistic gelatin, of a 44 Magnum in a semi-auto package with a few more rounds over a revolver. And by ballistic gelatin, I'm talking about the width of the temporary cavity going through ballistic gelatin, the penetration depth, and you could overlay the ballistic gelatin results of those two rounds, 44 mag 240 hollow point, and this Honey Badger 10 millimeter with a 115 grain bullet.
Man, that's an impressive load. How's it compared to something like the 300 Blackout, Jeff?
The 300 Blackout, that's a really good comparison. 300 Blackout, you can push one of the monolithic bullets like the really good Barnes TTSX. It's a solid copper bullet. You can push that to about 1,900 feet per second, and you end up with about the same results as you do with this bullet. It's a 115 grain bullet, larger diameter, going a little bit slower, going 1,600, but you nailed it with that. Both of them will give you about 5 inches of temporary cavity diameter and about 20 inches of penetration. So that's another good comparison.
So that is really the gold standard 10 millimeter load for dangerous critters, maybe.
I think so. We tried to come up with a balance. You could go with a straight FMJ projectile and get more penetration, but we felt like if we could get 20 inches of penetration with really good damage on the way in, that would probably be the best compromise. So that's pretty much what we were shooting for.
Wow. I know the Honey Badger stuff I've tested in the past. It is impressive stuff. How many other offerings do you guys have for the Honey Badger now? What's the line up to?
Oh, that's a good question. We've got 380s. We've got 2 loads in 9 millimeters. We've got a 40, a 45 ACP, a 44 special. We have a 44 Magnum, which is terrific for that fly fisherman that says, no, I'm not going to go to a 10 millimeter. I'm still going to carry my 44 Magnum. We've got a 160 grain bullet at 1,600 feet per second, and that is incredible. And 44 Magnum, that is the bear load that I would recommend.
Okay, very cool. That 10 millimeter Honey Badger sounds impressive. How about anything else? Any other new loads?
We brought out, we started off with the idea that we would not introduce a lot of new products. Hornady kind of did that to us. We've been great partners with Hornady for decades, like 35, 40 years, I guess. And we use a lot of their bullets. We use a lot of their GMX bullets, which is a monolithic gilding metal bullet. Opens up right away, penetrates deep. But Hornady looked at it and said, we can do better yet. So they redesigned that bullet line for better accuracy, a little bit higher BCs, and they changed the alloy a little bit, and they call it the CX line. So we wanted to continue offering the best that was available. So we're replacing all of our GMX bullets with CX bullets from Hornady. At the same time, we replaced a couple of the Nosler Accubon bullets with CX bullets as well. There was just so much duplication with these bullets doing the exact same terminal capability that we thought would simplify the line a little bit. If we do those in everything from 223 to 300 Win Mag, or actually from 556. We've got a 556 70 grain CX, and that goes all the way up to 300 Win Mag. We're covering most of the common calibers in between there, but I really I've really become a fan of these monolithic bullets, and I think the CX is going to turn out to be a really good one.
Well, Jeff, thank you for walking us through the new products. That Honey Badger especially seems really, really cool. If you guys want to find more about Black Hills Ammo, go to black-hills.com.
I'm Joe Kurtenbach with Guns and Ammo, and I'm joined by Ronelle Franklin. We're here at the Lockdown booth. And Ronelle, we've been kind of watching Lockdown grow for years now. Could you give us a little summary of all the things that Lockdown is into these days?
Oh, there's just more and more things.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing a lot of really fun stuff, working really hard to, get out of the vault. We've been in the vault for over a decade.
Right.
Now we're taking it to the next level, getting your firearms safely out of your vault, securing them, monitoring, keeping them accessible.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that, you guys have really gone from that vault storage and organization into the puck. We've got the monitoring and security devices for that extra peace of mind. And now, as you said, you're coming out of the vault and we're getting the guns more into your life. Yeah. So what are we looking at today?
Well, Lord knows we like to show off the guns, right? I mean, we love guns. We love these pretty firearms.
Yep, absolutely.
So what we're launching this year is our vault wall organization system. We needed to build a vault. Yeah. And we found that there was, we really wanted to make a cost-effective, very consumer-friendly vault wall organization system, and we did it. Yeah,
no, I mean, I think we expect something like this from certain tool companies, or, maybe when you're doing your garage renovation, you go to the local Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, but you guys are coming at the same kind of problem, organization, storage, display, but from a strictly firearms perspective, and I think you've got a really good solution here. So what are some of the aspects of what we're looking at here?
Well, and it's, you hit the nail on the head, is there's strictly firearms solutions, and then there's strictly tool organization solutions. And what we did is we combined both of them. Yeah. So we have, two sizes, so it really can adapt to any space. And what the main differentiator for ours is that we came out with firearm-specific pegs. Very secure, they lock in a little bit just to make sure that your firearm doesn't come falling off when you go to pull it off the wall. Yeah. But, sometimes you want a firearm hook, and sometimes you just need a regular everyday hook to hang a bag. So we made sure that our proprietary design works with standard pegboard hooks.
So if you've already got an organization system, this could be the upgrade, and you're not going to have to replace everything. You can still use a lot of those kind of common containers, if you will.
All the common containers. So that makes it, put it in your vault room, put it in your house and just make a beautiful display. Use it in your garage for the rest of your firearms gear and your camping gear and your hunting gear. You can buy a 50-pack of pegs off Amazon and hang all of the things and only have to invest in these hooks when you have to.
Yeah. Well, I think, we mentioned earlier, or you were telling me that you guys even kind of doubled down on the durability, especially for some of the heavier stuff like firearms, because these aren't always light. So you guys have kind of two weight classes for these?
We do, yep. So there's a standard version and a heavy-duty version. Now, what's great about that, because there is, of course, a cost difference, but visually, they're identical.
So you can mix and match the boards. You can
mix and match them.
And you're still going to have the right aesthetic, if you will.
You are. So, you know, when you're doing a really large wall space, you know, $10 per panel doesn't seem like a lot until you're buying 15 panels.
Yeah, exactly.
So with them being visually identical, you can have one section and only use the heavy-duty panels when you really need them.
Yeah.
And luckily, thanks to our ease of installation, all the panels are independent. So no racking system, no cleats that you have to install. Anywhere you can install our screws into any of the holes along the top and the bottom. So you're guaranteed to find a stud. And you can start small and expand. You know, it was Lord knows, you know, firearm.
Just like, honestly, just like what goes in your safe. You might start with one size vault, you know, but you're always going to fill that up. So the last thing I kind of want to touch on is we've got hooks, we've got shelves, we've got all the accessories. How are people going to be able to know which components or, you know, how are they going to be able to order these from Lockdown?
Yes, so we are also working on, and I'm very excited, it'll be available at launch right around the March-April timeframe, is our vault wall builder. So you'll be able to go on our website and just like an IKEA room builder, drag and drop the pieces that you need, build out the firearms, be able to print this out, and you've got this nice little template for when your firearms arrive.
That is very cool. So if people want to find out more about your walls and other Lockdown products, where do they need to go?
Go to lockdown.com and follow us at @LockdownSecured because we're always doing fun stuff.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to show you how we launch these. We have a really, really fun, very engaging launch plan. So make sure you're following us on social media.
I'm looking forward to it, RONELLE. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Skip Knowles with Wildfowl Magazine, here with my buddy Rafe Nielsen. A few years back, Browning took a gamble on whether the 16 gauge could make a comeback, especially in the A5 platform. It was a huge success, widely beloved instantly by shotgun lovers everywhere. And they're building on that now by taking another gamble and having a shotgun made in the A5 in waterfowl-friendly patterns and usage. A gun that was so popular for its beauty is now being made much more practical.
Absolutely. We've had great success with this 16 launch. We're kind of known as for 16 gauges, both in A5s, the old style, the old Sweet 16, the new one we came out with several years ago, along with our Satoris as well in 16. So we've got a lot of 16 gauges that are out there. And we noticed, you know, we've built these for the last several years, beautiful guns, wood stocks, high gloss finishes. And we started noticing these things are popping up in duck blinds, in the marsh, in the flooded timber a lot, really. And people were trying to take them out there and shoot them for, we thought maybe it was nostalgic purposes, but really they were serious about it. So we thought, let's build it for a serious waterfowl hunter. So it's a true composite stock, camo finishes. We do it in full camo as well as the Wicked Wing versions, which are the Cerakote barrel and receiver. Comes in all the popular mossy oak and real tree camouflage patterns. So it's really built for true, serious waterfowl hunters that want to use their 16 gauge.
Oh, it's fantastic, and even though it lost the classic look with this modern look, it's still a gorgeous gun.
Yeah.
And I know you personally were pretty instrumental in testing it on waterfowl and getting out there in the flooded timber and
we did.
And proving to people that with modern waterfowl loads, even steel loads, it could really do the job. So that's probably part of I think this one's going to be just as popular.
We believe so too. We're excited about it.
Well, just I'd be excited if you take me out hunting with you one of these times.
I'll do that.
Let's do that. Where can people find out more about the A5 16 gauge?
Best place to find about it is browning.com.
All right, man. Thanks, brother.
You bet. Thank you.
Hey, it's John Taranto with Game & Fish Magazine here with Jimmy Wilson from Winchester Ammunition. For a little over a decade or so, blindside has been a very popular round with waterfowlers across the country, into Canada, wherever ducks and geese fly. Well, for 2022, Winchester has come out with Blindside 2, and this round now features a couple of different upgrades that Jimmy's going to walk us through. Jimmy, let's start with the hex shot. What have you done with the hex shot that has kind of made Blindside 2 or taken Blindside 2 to the next level?
Yeah, the biggest change is to the hex shot. So if you compare the old hex shot to the new hex shot, you'll notice the new shot has a much more consistent radius on all edges of the shot, and that helps it fly better through the air.
Okay.
More aerodynamic, obviously, being round, right? It's more similar to round shot, but it still has, you know, the hex shape.
Those flat side. Okay, and you're able to stack more pellets into each round because of the change in shape as well, right?
Yep, so the pellets do stack tighter. It gives us more space in the shell, which allows us to put a little more powder in there, put a specially designed wad that absorbs a little bit of the impulse of the powder burn,
right.
And that lets us increase velocity. So if you compare equivalent payload products between round shot and hex shot, you'll notice the Blindside 2 is pushing a little faster velocity.
Okay, now you mentioned the wad. There's some changes to the wad as well, is that right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, original blindside used that really cool diamond cut wad, right? Pretty unique.
Yeah.
Because of the changes to the shot, we really don't need that wad anymore to try to control the shot flight. So we're using the dry lock wad system.
Okay.
So that's our waterproof wad system. Yep. It's great for those harsh conditions that waterfowlers experience.
Sure.
In combination with that, we also have a sealed primer just to help keep as much water out of that shell as possible.
Cool, very good. Talk to us a little bit about the gauge and length offerings.
Yeah, so we've got 12 gauge, 3-inch with number 2s, 3s, and BBs.
Okay.
12 gauge, 3.5-inch with 2s and BBs, and then 20 gauge, 3-inch with number 2s.
Okay, and these will be available sometime in 2022?
Yep. Probably going to build them around spring, summertime, but well ahead of waterfowl season for 22.
Fantastic. Keep an eye out for blindside too, all you waterfowlers out there.
I'm Joe Kurtenbach with Guns and Ammo, and I'm joined by Jake Winglass of Daniel Defense. And Jake, we're looking at a brand new introduction from you guys, the R3.
Joe, we have some new stuff to talk about today, man.
Let's get to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so with the new R3 line of guns here, you'll see that the RIS-2 finally got a facelift, which is sweet. So we're now in the M-Lock world with this family of guns.
Yeah.
And so you still have the same capability as the RIS-2. Still do your 203 grenade launcher if you have one at home.
Right.
Which is nice.
No, I keep one just for occasions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then also it's sitting on that DD4 ambidextrous loader, which is really great for lefties. Finally, we can drop our mags and not have to reach around the gun, which is great.
Yeah.
So
is this forend, are we going to see this kind of extending into all the different platforms you guys offer? I mean, are we going to see it on multiple rifle models? I know this is an M4 right here.
It is. This is the M4A1, basically upgraded with that RIS-3 rail system. Looking on the wall here, guys, you'll see this is the DD4 R3S.
Yeah.
That's the 11.5 barrel. So it has that same updated system. That's a big, heavy military law enforcement style gun right there. The Mark 18, which is now the Mark 18 RIS-3. That's one of our historical huge sellers.
Right.
So we did over 60,000 of those to SOCOM. So it was natural that we were going to go in there and do a facelift. So
yeah, so it's been a while since we kind of walked through a Daniel Defense rifle. So I'd really like to just kind of take a look at some of the features that we're going to have here because, like you were mentioning, we got the ambidextrous lower, and that is a nice. We had it on the M4. We've got it here on the Mark 18.
Absolutely.
So basically, those lefties out there, full controls on both sides.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the proprietary furniture from you guys. The polymer molded. I remember it was a big deal when Daniel Defense kind of stepped away from other people's products
back in the day.
and really came out with their own stuff. Really optimized it.
The coolest thing we could say about this is that this is a 100% ambidextrous gun now. Selector, ambidextrous. Our new charging handle, ambidextrous. And now the lower, you have all the controls.
Yeah.
So nobody can complain, lefties. Finally, we got what we were asking for, which is great.
Now, if I've got a legacy rifle and I want to upgrade to the R3, is it possible?
If you have a RIS-2 and you want to put this new M-Lock rail on it, absolutely. It's the same bolt-up plate here. It's the same geometry there, so you can actually just take your old RIS-2 off and slide your new one on.
Gotcha. So my Daniel Defense is still good to go, but now I've got the capability of putting all of my M-Lock accessories and attachment points on it.
It's a little bit lighter, but it's still a super tough system. So
and I assume the forend is going to support all the different barrel lengths, from your 10.5-inch guns all the way up and everything.
So 14.5, 16s, you know it. So.
Perfect. Well, hey, this isn't the only exciting news you guys have coming out here.
We have something else to talk about.
I'm not sure that we've done one of these at a show before, but we've got, and I'll hand it to you, the Delta 5. This was a big deal. We went from Daniel Defense, maker of premium ARs, to Daniel Defense, maker of premium bolt guns.
Hey, we did it. And the coolest thing is to watch this gun just keep evolving down the road.
Yeah.
Starting with the Delta 5 in that polymer chassis, now sitting in our proprietary, the Pro chassis here, which is so awesome. It has the Area 419 Arca rail here on the bottom. You'll see that licensed here on the bottom, and just really helps with.
Very popular among PRS shooters, but then also the duty guys too. There's so many accessories and so many capabilities of that system that it's kind of being adopted universally. Nice to see it here in a big, heavy chassis.
Absolutely. If we take a look at this barrel, I'm pretty sure I could put that in my Tacoma.
Yeah, did that fall off a truck?
Yeah, exactly. This little truck axle is just such a shooter and such a pleasure to shoot. What you'll see down the line on this gun is that the engineers at Daniel Defense are working on getting a folding device for this.
Yeah.
So if you have those guys doing a sniper challenge or whatever
Pack it up even smaller.
pack it up, fold it in, backpack, and go.
So
Yeah.
just referring to the state of the Delta 5 right now, we have versions from a very heavy pro model
Yes, sir.
down to hunting models even, or are we kind of
Yes.
still in, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the varmint profile barrel. You'll see the cold hammer forge markings, which we left on there because that's our bread and butter at the end of the day. And so,
But basically, a new platform from Daniel Defense has now expanded into all the roles you might need a bolt gun for.
absolutely.
Well, Jake, I appreciate it. Looking
good,
forward to
man,
getting
Joe.
on the range with some of this stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
That wraps up this episode, but there's still way more to see from the industry's leading trade show. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the week for your inside look with SHOT Show New Product Premiere.
There's not a one-size-fit-all solution. I mean, when you talk about the different brands of optics, which are increasing by the day.
Fully ambidextrous, so you can take the charging handle from this side and move it to the other side